All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tear apart two of the most famous and, let's be honest, most savage sales acronyms in pop culture. And they both come from this one incredible source, David Mamet's masterpiece, Glengarry Glen Ross.
I mean, who hasn't heard this line, right? It is just so sharp, so aggressive. It perfectly sums up this high-stakes, dog-eat-dog world of sales. And it's all delivered by this character, Blake. He just strolls in, supposedly to motivate a bunch of struggling salesmen, but motivate is putting it lightly. It's more like he's trying to light a fire under them using a flamethrower. Yeah, that one line, it's really just scratching the surface. It's our first peek into this absolute pressure cooker of an office where everything, your next paycheck, your job, your entire self-worth, it all comes down to one thing. Can you close the deal? So let's really dig into the philosophy that created a line like that. So, picture this. You're in this dingy, down-on-its-luck real estate office. Sales are in the toilet. Morale? It's basically non-existent. You can just feel the tension in the air. This isn't just a bad month, you know? This is a full-blown crisis just waiting to explode. And right into this mess walks Blake. Now, this isn't some friendly office competition with a gift card on the line. No way. Blake is an outsider, a shark sent straight from downtown. He's not there to sing Kumbaya and build team spirit. He's there to cut the dead weight. He announces what he calls a little sales contest. And the rules? Well, they're about as simple and as brutal as it gets. And you can see just how high the stakes are by looking at the prizes. First prize, the ultimate symbol of making it, a brand new Cadillac Eldorado. Second prize, you get a set of steak knives. Yeah, that's it. It's almost a slap in the face. And third prize? Well, third prize is you're fired. It's that simple. The message is crystal clear. Sell or you're gone. So to survive something like this, you're going to need a lot more than just good luck. You need a whole new way of thinking. And that's exactly what Blake is there to drill into them. He's got this philosophy that, believe it or not, has been echoing through real-life sales offices for decades now. And here it is. A, B, C. Always. B, closing. It's not a friendly tip. It's not a suggestion. It's a command. It means that every single thing you do, every phone call, every handshake, every conversation is aimed at one and only one goal, getting that signature on the contract. It's just a relentless, almost obsessive focus. And Blake really hammers this home. He literally grabs a piece of chalk, walks up to the blackboard, and scrawls ABC for everyone to see. Then he just repeats it over and over like some kind of cult mantra. Always be closing, always be closing. This isn't a lesson. He's programming them. Okay, so ABC, that's the mindset, right? The overall philosophy. But what about the method, the how-to? Well, for that, Blake brings out another classic acronym. You might have even heard of this one if you've ever taken a business class. But trust me, he gives it his own particularly vicious spin. And this is where it gets really twisted. You know, the textbook AIDA model. It stands for attention, interest, decision, action. Pretty standard stuff. But then you look at Blake's version. Attention isn't about grabbing their focus. It's a threat. Do I have your attention? Interest isn't about finding out what they want. It's a demand. Are you interested? And action? That's the ultimatum. You close or you hit the brakes. He takes this simple sales process and turns it into an absolute weapon. So think about it. You've got this insane pressure from the contest. You've got this aggressive new philosophy being shoved down your throat. But what are you actually working with? What are your tools? Well, it all comes down to one thing. The sales leads. That list of names and numbers is their lifeblood. It's their only shot at survival. But here's the catch. The whole system is rigged from the start. The best leads, these amazing, premium, Glengarry leads, they're reserved for the top dogs, the closers who are already winning. Everybody else? They get the scraps, the leftovers. It creates this vicious cycle of failure that is almost impossible to escape.
And the salesmen, they feel this immediately. You hear this desperate cry from Shelley Levine, who they used to call the Machine. He was a legend, but his glory days are way behind him. And his first instinct isn't to blame himself. It's to blame the tools. The leads are weak. It's just the raw sound of a man watching his entire legacy just vanish. And that desperation, it turns to anger and paranoia really, really fast. Take Dave Moss. He's convinced it's a personal attack from the guys upstairs. He thinks he's being set up to fail. To him, these bad leads aren't just an obstacle. They are a literal death sentence for his career.
And you know it's bad when even the office hotshot, the top salesman Ricky Roma, can see what's happening. He takes one look at the leads a struggling colleague has and just calls them out for what they are. Ancient, this shit's dead. So the number one guy on the board basically confirms what everyone else is thinking. He's validating all their worst fears. So what happens when you mix that kind of crushing pressure with odds that are stacked against you? Well, you get this. A completely toxic workplace filled with backstabbing, complaining, and just sheer desperation. And in Glengarry Glen Ross, it all boils over into an actual criminal plot to rob the office and steal those good leads. So, after all of that, what's the big takeaway? What's the ultimate lesson Blake wants these guys to learn? In his mind, what's the one thing that separates the winners from the losers? It really comes down to one final, incredibly blunt point. And to make sure his point lands with all the subtlety of a freight train, Blake reaches into his briefcase, pulls out a pair of actual brass balls, and slams them down on the table. It's a shocking, crude gesture, for sure, but it's one none of those salesmen are ever going to forget. And there it is, the final word. The entire thesis of his speech boiled down to one sentence. It's not about skill. It's not about being nice or having a good product. No. In this world, success is about raw, masculine aggression. It's about having the guts, the nerve, the brass balls to go out and take what you want. And that really leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? I mean, Glengarry Glen Ross came out decades ago. But these themes, they're absolutely timeless. We still admire and reward closers in the business world. We still talk about tough love and high-pressure motivation. So you have to wonder, where is the line? Where is the line between motivating someone to be their best and just pushing them right over the edge?